You have returned. Is there any chance you have news of Delilah? Dead? What happened to her? Was it as I thought? The Keeper told me the truth? Are you certain? Oh, I see. At least she is at peace. Here is the amulet, as I promised. Now I should go and make arrangements. I must mourn my wife as is proper. Dareth Shiral, fare you well.
We are working hard to make enough equipment for all of the hunters. Our armaments will be superior to anything else you find on the battlefield. Truly? Let me see. Yes, that is indeed ironbark, and a substantial quantity of it as well. Well done. An agreement is an agreement, and I will craft something from this wood for you. What would you like? A bow, or perhaps a breastplate? I must admit I'm surprised to witness such generosity from an outsider. You have my thanks, and the thanks of my clan for this gift. I will not allow your generosity to go without at least some reward. Come, I shall make something of the wood you bring. I've reformed the wood to my will. It is but a small token of our gratitude, but take it with my blessing. We are working hard to make enough equipment for all of the hunters. Our armaments will be superior to anything else you find on the battlefield. I am no merchant, but I have plenty that you may need.
I understand we will be joining you in battle as soon as the hunters have recovered.
They say the Mabari is clever enough to speak and wise enough to know not to. Tell me, my friend, does this saying apply to you? Are you capable of speech and simply choose not to speak? Sometimes I think the world would be a much friendlier place if we could learn some things from animals. Nothing in the animal kingdom can match the worst qualities of humanity.
You are a true warrior and worthy of respect. I've a question, if I may. Well, here's the thing. I swore an oath to serve you, yes? And I understand the quest you're on, and this is all very fine and well. My question pertains to what you intend to do with me once this business is over with, as a point of curiosity. Could I? And what if I didn't wish to leave? Indeed. I might even be glad to call myself such, come to think of it. It is good to know what my options might be, but that is for another time. For now, we have much to do, yes?
You and your friends are formidable folk, indeed. It's good to have you along on the road. I'm sure you... If there's anything I can do for you, please, please tell me. I'm
Yes.
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 Surface silks, half price.
Yes? Oh? What was this about? Oh, I see. Tauren must have sent you. I refuse to answer to a pawn of Tauren. Come, men, to arms!
Got it. Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back? You're gonna regret this!
That's it. Prepare to be crushed.
Got it.
Idiot. Feathered fiend.
Thank them.
Maker's blessing. Maker's blessing to you.
I have never heard of a thing called a Qunari.
You have not.
Oh, you wish to talk to me? Truly, it's a courtesy for one so well-armed to notice a lowly merchant. Someone has to. Trade with other races can dry up. We surfacers are Orzamar's lifeline, even if we're denied a caste. The Assembly says we've turned our back on the stone, but they still use the goods we bring. Hypocrites. Maybe it'll change by the time my children are grown. Twice a year, I'm confined to a trade stall in the Commons, but I see enough. It's very closed in. My grandfather says I've lost my stone sense. I was born topside. I don't remember having it. Best of luck to you.
Did you hear? Andraste's ashes have been found here in Ferelden too. Blind old cow. Someone knows Andraste came from Ferelden. It makes sense they'd bring her ashes back here.
Maker's breath, is that? Oh, I beg your pardon. Can I help you, friend? No, nothing at all. Just, you know, thought I saw something.
Since you are clearly looking at me, I would say that you do see something.
Well, yes. Never you mind. Can I help you? Well, little of this, little of that. You know, used armor mostly. Nothing that would really interest fine people like yourselves.
Is it refreshing or unsettling that this merchant is reluctant to show us his wares?
Well, I'm considerate of my customers' time, that's all.
What reassuring certainty.
Oh, certainly.
Those ashes are so old they'd be dust by now.
You called. Speak, then. Then I suggest we move on. As you wish. You called. I am hardly surprised. Very well.
So, you're back, I see. What can I do? Oh, so, you're back. Oh,
You insult all of Ferelden with your actions. King Loghain will not suffer the delay of his appointed messenger.
Vieta, this land is held in trust for the sovereign dwarven kings. I cannot allow entry at this time.
King Loghain demands the allegiance of the Desher, or lords, or whatever you call them in your assembly. I am his appointed messenger.
I don't care if you're the king's wiper. Orzammar will have none but its own until our throne is settled.
Who doesn't? If I don't get in, no one should.
Orzammar has no king. Endrin Iduken returned to the stone not 3 weeks ago, sick over the loss of his sons. The Assembly has gone through a dozen votes without agreeing on a successor. If it is not settled soon, we risk a civil war.
The Wardens killed King Cailan and nearly doomed Ferelden. They're sworn enemies of King Loghain.
Well, that is the Royal Seal. That means only the Assembly is authorized to address it. Grey Warden, you may pass.
You're letting in a traitor? And a foreigner? In the name of King Loghain, I demand that you execute this stain on the honor of Ferelden. You'll hear of this. King Loghain will see you quartered.
You are free to enter Orzammar, Grey Warden, though I don't know what help you will find.
A Trost Vala, Warden. Your arrival is a mixed blessing.
Red, please spare a few bits for an old man.
Your presence will be tolerated.
Now that's a thing of beauty, daughter. If you work hard like Branka, all Orzammar will know your name.
Mother, I don't want to be like her. She...
Don't say that.
I have a question it may be able to answer, Elder Mage.
Must it always be Elder Mage? I'm not a wizened old crone just yet.
Would it prefer Mage well past her prime, don't mind the sagging bits?
You have an odd way of requesting answers to your questions.
I'm curious about the abominations of the tower. Is it possible for such a creature to become human again?
Yes, it is simply very difficult. It requires travel into the Fade.
And? Is the mage the same afterwards as the mage was before?
No, I have never met such a person, but no, they are changed forever.
I understand. Thank you for the answer, wise one.
It is the Assembly who makes a king, and a king who nominates his successor. None of it is carried in the blood.
Or, as now, when someone tries using the Assembly to pull a coup. Who's to say what my father said in his final hours, when the usurper Harrowmont was the only one by his side?
I'll have you thrown in prison.
You've bitten off more than you can chew!
Handlers, separate these Deshers in the Diamond Quarter. I will not have Balin incite a riot.
You'll not speak that way about the man who should be king! I won't have fighting in the Commons, especially in front of outsiders. Vieta, Surfacer. I'm bid to let you walk the Commons, but keep your place. Warden or not, I want order. Surface problems. Well, we have no king to hear you. You can join the shouting at the Assembly in the Diamond Quarter if you want. Bunch of Desher lords bickering over sand. Balin, Harrowmont. Is one so different? No paragons here. They've caged themselves for fear of each other. As you've seen, keeping order down among us working people is dodgy. No place for a proper lord. Balin speaks through his second, Vartag Gavorn, in the Assembly. Lord Harrowmont speaks through Dulin Ferender from his estate. Yes, you should.
And... I'm sorry. Did you have an offering for the ancestors? Although, I can't imagine your ancestors reside in the stone. My name is Vilda, widow of Turok of the Smith caste. I pray here every day for my son, Ruck. I only wish I knew whether I should be asking for his safe return or for the ancestors to accept his soul. It was 5 years ago. He was only a youngster. He joined a Deep Roads excursion, the only smith to go with the warriors to repair their arms. He was so proud, but he got separated somehow. When they came home, he wasn't with them. How? There is no way except to brave the Deep Roads yourself. A warden. So you could do it. Only wardens face the Deep Roads without a company backing them. Oh, thank you. The ancestors finally heed my prayers.
Take heart, good Widow Filda. We'll do our best.
Please, find me as soon as you return.
Is that...
Very nice. Very nice. I'm to keep this, am I? Fine.
Drunken singing, I hear.
Topsiders? Good. Get some outside gold in here. Calm people down. Make them think we should open the gates for good. The more cracks in the old way, the better. That's what Balin stands for. I'll take your gold. You're good for that.
I can't do that.
The great paragon Branka will never return.
Excuse me, do you have a...
Greetings, and welcome to Garen. Wow, there are a lot of you. And I've never seen one of those before. The things they come up with. What was I saying? Right. Yeah, I have some lovely things here. Lyrium.
Enhanced, of course.
What does it want?
I can't do that. I can't do that.
You look like you're not from around here. I've been trying forever to find someone who really knows the surface world. I don't suppose you've heard of something called the Circle? Oh, my lady, it's an honor. I've never met an actual mage. Is it true you can manipulate nature's forces with your mind? Like you were born with lyrium in your veins?
Don't let the glamour fool you, child. Wielding magic is a dangerous occupation, and a great responsibility.
I've been trying to reach someone there for years. I've sent missives with every caravan, but I never get a reply. I want to know if they would accept me for study. That would be wonderful. My name is Dagna, daughter of Janar of the Smithcast. Tell them I've already begun reading the Tevinter Imperiums for Tikum Kadab, and it's just fascinating. Did you know the Imperial Magister Lords once had genealogies of every human family known to produce a mage child? Oh, I'll go pack my bags right now. I'll be waiting by my father's shop.
Oh, this is grand. The noble houses do love their luxuries, don't they?
Battling Darkspawn near Orzammar. They have no orders while thrones stand.
Is it true there's civil war on the surface?
Your king now.
Raise your voice in favor of Lord Balin. He will bring us
So
change
this is the seat
and
of the king.
prosperity.
Except he isn't sitting there at the moment, I suppose.
Warden, welcome. It is always a blessing for Orzammar to host your order. I am Vartak Gavorn, top advisor to our good Prince Balin. What news do you bring? It would be hard not to notice the Grey Warden and her eclectic entourage. I hear you seek the aid of Orzammar's finest. Yes, the treaty. I've seen it in the Shaper's libraries. Now, the difficulty is that the treaty only compels our king, and we are sadly lacking one of those right now. My prince is the rightful king, but a disappointing number of lords back the upstart Harrowmont for the throne. If you show your support for Prince Balin, he might be able to assist with your requests. You must understand, Harrowmont hides behind his good reputation while sending spies and assassins. Balin can't know who to trust. It's been like a knife in the heart for Balin to see so many of his father's men stand with the usurper. You've been turned by Harrowmont's slanders already. I should have known no soul in Orzammar would be neutral. Would you be willing to prove that? Harrowmont has engaged in a campaign of bribery and coercion to ensure that every house serves him. But if a neutral party, a stranger, were to approach certain key members, perhaps with irrefutable evidence of Harrowmont's deception...
Irrefutable evidence, which I suppose you have?
I'm certain my Lord Prince would show his gratitude. Harrowmont promised the same portion of his estate to two different Deshers, Lady Dace and Lord Helmy. Harrowmont can't possibly grant it to both of them, but they won't find out until after the vote is cast. I have copies of the promissory notes Harrowmont gave each of them. Once they see those, they should both reconsider their votes. Lady Dace doesn't leave the quarter much, but Lord Helmy's adventurous, likes to spend his time at tapsters in the Commons. Remember, don't tell them you got these papers from me. You learned of them and drew your own conclusions.
The Assembly is in session. Enter quietly if you wish to observe.
Your mind has gone to dust if you think we would pass such a writ. Half our houses would go broke without the surface trade.
The proposal is only effective until we have a king to ensure we are respected by the surfacers.
Leaving you conveniently positioned to take over all contracts. I'll see your head on a pike first.
Deshers, lords and ladies of the Assembly, I've already doubled the guard to prevent violence. Must I summon more?
Steward Bandalore, Balin's sympathizers are tying our hands with trivialities. They may as well open us to the sky.
I suggest we put the matter to a vote.
And I suggest you have a taste of my family's mace.
Enough! The Assembly is in recess until the members can regain control of their emotions.
Well, have you found Lady Dace and Lord Helmy? Don't bother.
I heard there was a Grey Warden here. I am Dulin Forrender, second to Lord Harrowmont, King Endrin's own choice as successor. Word is spreading that the surface may suffer a blight. It is shameful we are not in a better position to help. If you like. You left so abruptly, I didn't... Do you have more time to talk now, Warden? That may be, and that is a terrible risk for the surface. But even if the world would end tomorrow, Lord Harrowmont cannot ignore Balin today. He cannot afford to trust anyone of unproven loyalties. If you wish to show you have no loyalty to Balin, then work against him in Harrowmont's name. Balin is hosting a proving today, supposedly to honor his father's memory. The Deshers take it very seriously, and unfortunately, Balin found some way to blackmail or intimidate House Harrowmont's best fighters into stepping down. It would certainly make your loyalties loud and clear. Balin would never work with anyone who humiliated him in that way. Harrowmont would have no fear of meeting with you then. Then I'm afraid your only choice is to wait until there's a winner. Lord Harrowmont cannot risk his life working with someone of unproven loyalties. If you change your mind, let me know. The proving is this afternoon, and Lord Harrowmont could certainly use you on his side.
Warden, I'm outraged. A thief in the Shaperate. What have we been reduced to? I did. He was bald, with the most garish brand across his head. Almost like he took pride in being castless. Imagine. He's probably in the slums somewhere. As if he'd find a buyer for a stolen tome in Dusttown. They couldn't know the value.
Oh, pardon me. Were you looking for a particular volume? Not that I could really help. I, don't know the libraries very well. I'm just doing some research. I was looking for something about the Orton Tig. It was lost during the last Blight, and there aren't many records left. They were a noble house once, descended from the Paragon Orton, who composed the grand epic of the Seven Brothers and the Ortonic Symphony. My mother's family believes they were descended from Kalana Orton, who was training in Orzammar when the Tig fell. I'm even named for the house, Orta. Unfortunately, any records would be buried in the Tig's ruins, somewhere in the deep roads. A Grey Warden? Mother always said that if anyone could find the Tig, it was the Wardens. I hear Prince Balin and Lord Harrowmont have both been sending out small teams these days. Yes, if you can find the Tig in any records, that could do it. That could prove I'm a noble. If you could. Maybe now that you're looking. It's almost too much to hope.
Are you looking for records of the Grey Wardens? We have many.
It is done.
News of the hour. Lord Harrowmont's insinuations against Lord Balin reveal the truth.
What do you want? Ah, I suppose you're the Grey Warden everyone's talking about. It's fascinating the surface has an entire order dedicated to fighting Darkspawn. Down here, that's just what fighting means. But I'm sure it's more difficult on the surface. It must be much harder to find them. Now, was that an attempt to cozen me into revealing my choice, or are you simply making small talk? It's so hard to tell with you surface types. You're all so charmingly direct and artless. Who wants to know? It certainly can't be you. What interest would a Grey Warden have in who rules Orzammar? An interesting accusation. But to cheat me, wouldn't Harrowmont and I need to be in business? That's ridiculous. Harrowmont would never make so obvious a mistake. What evidence do you have? Well, this isn't exactly a surface broadsheet. Where did you get these? Never mind. It is true enough, but there's nothing I can do about it. This deal was made on behalf of our entire house. Only my father can revoke it. He is leading a Deep Roads expedition, trying to secure an ancient thaig. It's unlikely he'll be back before the election, but perhaps this vote is important enough for you to brave the tunnels to tell him? The Dace family would be in your debt. If Father returns before the election, I'll be sure to tell him. You're back. Was there... Thank you. He was searching an old Idukan site. He left me with this map, in case his expedition never returned. I'll give you a pass as well. Usually, no one is allowed past the front lines. Does that mean you'll go? So Balin's victory means enough for you to risk your life. How interesting.
Lord Balin is a bad man. Yes, very bad.
It'll be 2 years tomorrow. By all the holy sodding ancestors, how can you people just ignore that?
Branka didn't go alone, Oghren. She took the whole house, everybody but you. So just get over to Tapster's and drown yourself already. You know as well as I do that's how this always ends.
You think I'm afraid of some cub warrior who's barely...
So, I've been hearing rumors that a certain wine...
The Elder Mage watches me. I'm reminded of a certain former master whose head I crushed, or so I'm told.
Oh, I'm sorry, Shale. I am simply curious about you, that's all.
As my former master would say during his experiments.
Oh, I would do no such thing. I just find the idea of you so fascinating. On the one hand, it seems it would be so sad and so lonely in existence. And on the other, you are so very powerful. No golem I know of has ever had free will as you do. May I ask what you intend to do with it?
Other than exterminating the vermin of the sky?
Yes. Other than that?
I do not know. Crushing heads is fun, for now.
Well, that's something. They don't kill each other in the arena, do they? I mean, why would
Good
anyone
day,
find that
stranger.
entertaining?
Welcome to the Proving Arena. We're still closed until the fighters make their preparations, but come back this afternoon if you want to watch the show. Enjoy our grand city.
You can stop flinching, Sten. I'm not going to harm you.
I do not fear harm to myself.
What is that supposed to mean?
An unbound mage is like a wildfire, as prone to simply consume itself as it is to devour all that surrounds it.
I do wish you wouldn't refer to mages as it. Does that lead out to the deep roads? I hear they're crawling with Darkspawn.
What's this? A human? Did we make these tunnels tall enough for humans? I'm sorry, but I cannot allow you past the front lines without Adesha's permission. And I've heard nothing of any new patrols scheduled to leave today. I see you have his daughter's seal, so I will not stop you. But be careful. Just because the beasts have pulled back from Orzammar doesn't mean there are any fewer in the deep roads. Either we finally have the edge, which I doubt, or the beasts are building up numbers for the next attack.
The surface? But I thought the vermin never went up that far except
during blights. Ancestors save us if that's what's happening. Best of luck.
They'll never see me coming. Now's better than later. I'll get on it. All right, all right.
We are victorious.
Finished. Now what do you want?
Look, Darkspawn.
And thus I close our wicked villain. You're gonna regret this! Someone's gonna fall and it sure won't be me! Now better than later. Got it. I'll get on it. Now's better than later. Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back? That's right! Come on! Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back? This'll be fun! Let's see the blood!
Yes, run! Run in fear!
I am prey for no creature. Done. Anything else? Done now. Are you happy?
Thanks for your help. leave us, then we must fight.
I'll get on it. That about wraps it up. All right, all Oh, this is a nasty one. I love how desperate you are. You're
Some creature draws near.
I'll get on it. Someone's gonna fall and it's all waiting for a beast. Let's maul it. Got it. All right, all right. I'll get it back. All right, all right. Can I get you a ladder? Got it. Now's better than later. I'll get on it. Now's better than later. It's a good day to die.
I'll kill it.
Let's see what you're made of. Is it time to kill something? You can get off my back. All right, all right. Done now. Are you happy?
Careful. I don't think that's the last of them.
I've never seen Deep Stalkers so fierce.
Careful. I don't think that's the last of them.
Oh, this is a nasty one. Got it. I'll get him. Finished. Now what do you want? It is done.
You pulled us from a tight spot, friend. You have my gratitude.
I am Lord Anwar Dace. So what's a human doing out here anyway? And why would I do that? I have nothing but respect for Harrimont and he for me. I don't understand. What could... These are the terms of a deal we made with Lord Harrimont, but... the charlatan. He's promised the exact same land to Helmy. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. I owe you twice now. My life and my house's fortune. Ah yes, a favor for a favor. My family is very influential with some of the surface merchants. If you attend any of their stores, you'll find them quite obliging to any friend of the Daces. I must return now. My men need healing, and I want to look into this. Do you wish to travel with us? Then let us reach Orzammar before more beasts find our scent. Thank you for your service.
News of the hour. Support. Lord Balin at your peril. Evidence suggests Lord Balin considering widespread...
Legion of the Dead Warriors secretly wear Prince Balin's colors. Our prince...
I can't do that.
What's on your mind? It is no...
Greetings. You won't regret helping our prince, Warden.
Well, have you found Lady Dace and Lord Helmy?
Lord Haramont is a weak man, and he will be a weak...
You have House Dace's thanks. You have House Dace's thanks.
Thank you for your service.
I hate leaving a man behind.
Well, have you found Lady Dace and Lord Helmy? That's not important. If they ask, say you found them while searching the Shaper's libraries. Don't bother me again without something to report.
News of the hour. Lord Haramont entrenched in the path.
Lord Balin suspected of personally defacing statues of the Paragons. Shocking allegations abound.
You have come at a difficult time. Orzammar is ailing for want of a king. You have come at a difficult time. Orzammar is ailing for want of a king.
Can you believe it? Ogren's barely even warrior caste anymore, and he just clomps in here like he's entitled. Well, he killed Lord Mino's youngest son in a duel to first blood. It was a huge scandal. Ogren should have been executed, but he'd won honors in the Deep Roads. Instead, they stripped him of all weapons and forbid him from engaging in fights within city limits. If he breaks the decree, he'll be exiled. The only paragon in the last 4 generations. Quite an honor for a girl from the Smith caste. Chasing some old treasure. She was quite secretive. Outright rude, really. She said she never asked to found a house, that she didn't care about politics, and that we were too self-absorbed to defeat the Darkspawn. She actually threatened anyone who said they'd come after her. She invented a smokeless fuel that let the Smith caste increase their output by nearly 1/3. Deaths from the Black Lung also dropped. The Assembly said she had the favor of the ancestors and declared her a paragon. They moved Branka, Ogren, and all their relatives to the noble caste and founded a new house in her name. Well, before she was a paragon, she was just a smith, and Ogren was one of the best warriors of his generation. It's been 2 years since Branka left. No one has ever stayed in the Deep Roads that long and survived. The search teams who went out found nothing, but Ogren wants to keep risking lives searching. If you see any guardsmen, tell them Ogren was at it again.
Yes, Warden. What is it? Yes, you...
Afternoon, stranger. You looking for a stool to share a brew? I recommend the Lycan Ale. They brew it downstairs. Name's Naveen. I fight with Prince Balin's Expeditionary Field Unit. Yourself? Figured as much. Good folks, Wardens. I was in the Deep Roads when that one came by. What was his name? Dukan, Dunka... something like that. I met him, sure. Good man. Solid. He knows what we go through in the Deep Roads. Not many do. Not even the ones who live this close. You have to be on the front lines. Darkspawn. Not much use in turning our weapons elsewhere while those vermin still live. Watch yourself. Orzammar politics are getting near as dangerous as battle.
Told him I don't understand why the... Lord Dennick Helmi, honored Desher of the Orzammar Assembly, and terrible disappointment to my esteemed mother, who doesn't like me spending time in taverns. You understand what I'm saying, right? On the surface, there are no castes, and it works fine. Am I right, Warden? You don't get far as the youngest and most outspoken member of the Assembly without keeping an ear to the stone. I heard there was a Grey Warden in town. No offense, but you kind of stand out. Very good. I guess someone already told you I was good for nothing, drinking my life away at Tapster's. Or did they leave off at greatest shame to ever fall upon the Assembly? I've always liked that one. You know, most smiths and tavern keeps would make decent deshers if we gave them a chance and a seat in the Assembly. Orzammar are so mired in tradition, no one bothers asking if the castes are even necessary. Oh, well, I'd ask for proof, or why you care, but frankly, I'm so tired of it I'm not even surprised anymore. I don't even want the land, but my house would kill me if I turned it down. Responsibilities, you know. Now I'll have to go through the whole process of rejecting the deal. And they'll both have to try something else. And I thought it was going to be a nice day. Otherwise, my whole house will be humiliated. Doesn't make a difference anyway, one's as bad as the next.
What do you want? Hey, I heard about you. Grey Warden, coming from the surface. Great crisis in the world. Someone saw you talking to Vartag Gavorn, and now it's all over that you've been doing dirty errands for Balin. I figured you'd be the one, you know, who could help me find Branka. But I guess you're just like all the rest. You don't need a king to face a blight. You need a paragon. The Assembly elects them, but they're higher than the Assembly. They become nobles, but they're more than anyone born to a house. They're what every dwarf with a spine not made of soap dreams of being. City's only living paragon, and she's been lost in the Deep Roads for 2 years. 2 years, and no one's raised a bleeding army to go look for her. Why do you care, huh? You looking to uncover all her secrets? Is that what Balin wants? I know he's been poking around, trying to find things out about her, what she was looking for. Won't tell me spit, though. He wants it for himself, right? A little blessing from the ancients' technology, and he's assured the throne. Is that it? You are looking for it. Of course, that's all anyone cares about. Well, sod off and sod your mother, too. I need a bleeding drink. You keep on your errands. Until your boss really commits to looking, you're getting nothing but smoke out of old Oghren.
Welcome to Jan-Ar Family Armorers. I must say, you look like our type of people. Looking for a new set of mail? At Jan-Ar's, we have everything from leather to platinum. Of course, keep in mind we also take items on trade. A Trast Valar, stranger. Has she been bothering you? Gets a whiff of surface stink and she's like a cave tick. Won't let go. Do you even know what that means? If Dagna goes to the surface, she forfeits her caste. She'll never be able to marry or work in Orzammar again. Dwarves don't do magic. Dagna knows that. It's just a childhood fantasy that dies hard. Please, if you see her, send her back and let me talk some sense into her.
You're back? But it takes 2 weeks and 4 days minimum to make the journey to the Circle Tower.
I don't even know that. That's quite impressive.
Thank you, great lady. But am I right in guessing you haven't left Orzammar yet? Well, I've waited 19 years. Another month won't kill me.
questions arise regarding Lord Balin's impending marriage to a captive.
Lord Harrowmont, said to have kicked Castless in the street. Does he...
Lady Dace just came through the quarter on a tear. She's telling everyone who'll listen what a leech and a liar Harrowmont is. Good job. So you were serious about wanting to help us. Are you ready to meet Balin now? I warn you, be on your best behavior, and keep your weapons sheathed.
I am impressed, Warden. Not many outsiders so quickly grasp Orzamar's rather convoluted politics. I am Prince Balin. Fartag told me of your efforts against the usurper who tried to claim my father's throne. My father lost 2 sons when one turned against the other. He was mad with grief, and Harrowmont did all he could to drive him over the edge. I was his only living child, and Harrowmont barred me from him. I had to tell him goodbye by common messenger. Who's to say what my father said in his final hours, when the usurper Harrowmont was the only one by his side? To be king of the greatest city in Thedas? I know you Grey Wardens claim to be above politics, but surely you can't be blind to that lure. Harrowmont spent his life in the Assembly. He only knows how to lead through compromise and capitulation. That's not what Orzammar needs. The Darkspawn are massing for a blight. The land's topside have been torn apart. We need a strong leader now, someone who can stand up to the Assembly. Someone who will rule, not persuade. There is only one thing of importance when I take the throne: the Blight. We need absolute unity to fight against the fulcrum of true evil. Absolutely. And sworn on the mail of my ancestors, as soon as Orzammar is united under my rule. Unfortunately, while this debate rages, I have no power to send the troops you need. You've seen for yourself, the city is a slaughterhouse. Criminals run lawless. I could never hold the throne if I allowed such chaos. You have struck a blow against Harrowmont already, and I thank you for that. But there is another faction in play here. Have you heard of a woman named Jarvia and the Carta of Criminals she runs? They know Orzammar is divided now and has no time for them. It's made them bold. If I show the city I can eliminate such a threat, well, let's just say my position would be stronger.
Your eagerness is charming. If you can do as you say, you will have the troops you need the moment I take the throne. Unfortunately, I have little information on Jarvia. Her base of power is in Dust Town, the lowest part of the city, and my men have few sources there. Maybe the castless will talk more freely with a stranger. And I will wait eagerly for your return.
Please be quiet. My patient needs a rest. Fools and their politics. The poison was probably imported as a king killer, and she got dosed by mistake. I've never seen anything this potent. Warden, I don't know. Maybe you've seen something like this on the surface. Maybe you've used something like it. If you can chase these things down, I'll thank you, but I won't get my hopes up. The stone will take her soon.
News of the hour. Lord Balin, endorsed by the Grey Warden. Orzammar questions Lord Balin's ability to win the throne without Grey Warden assistance. Can he rule without...
Aren't you chilly, Sten?
Chilly? I don't know this word.
It's much warmer where you're from, isn't it? Don't you feel cold?
I suppose.
I don't imagine we can find a cloak in your size, can we?
What?
Nothing. Nothing. Don't mind me. Now, I wonder where I could get a skein of good wool yarn.
Aha, you're back. Did you wish to fight in the Proving today? Let me just put you into the schedule here. Now, is there a particular name you wish listed? We'll just call you Grey Warden, seeing as those human names are a real burr to pronounce. We actually have an opening in the first round. Are you ready to start? Looks like Swearn's drawn first bout. He was one of the youngest champions ever. Beat his own father at 12 years old. All for the right to earn his battle status 2 years early. Are you ready to start? Fight start at the gong and go to first blood. No eye gouging, no groin pulls. The rules of each bout will be announced when it starts. You should be comfortable with normal weapons and lyrium-enhanced weapons, in single combat, pairs, or battle units. Are you ready to start? Come back soon. You'll be fighting the bout as soon as both fighters are ready.